Okay, so were you able to get all of those chores? If so, then very good. You did a good job. Okay, so now we can move on to our second part of our presentation for today. Okay, so when we want to have fun, often what we do is we talk about the different types of movies. So we all love going to watch a movie, and we all love seeing different types of movies. So what is your favorite movie, and what type of movie is it? That's what we'll be talking about today. Okay? So our first type of movie is action movie. Okay? So an action film, okay, action is a film genre. The word genre is the word genre hello? 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 Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Hello, can you hear me, Ahmed? Okay, so what was the problem exactly? Okay, so we'll also be talking today about movies. Now, we all love having fun, and we all love to have some type of entertainment. But what does the word genre mean? The word genre is the type of movie that you're watching. So each movie belongs to a different genre. And we're going to explore all of these genres today because I'm sure there is one that you prefer, you love watching, and then there's those ones that you don't like that much. So let's take a look and let's see what type of genres we have for movies. So our first, we have action. We have action movies or an action film. So an action film is a genre in which one or more of the heroes are thrust into a series of challenges that typically include physical feats, extended fight scenes, violence, and frantic chases. Action films tend to feature a resourceful character struggling against incredible odds, which include life-threatening situations, a villain, or a pursuit, which generally concludes in the victory for the hero. So an action movie is one of those movies where everything is happening and it's based on a thrill, where there's lots of things happening, where there's a hero and there's also a bad guy. And the heroes should win in the end. So an excellent example of an action movie would be like Fast and Furious, as we see Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Here, he is shooting down a drone, which is a flying air machine that kills. Okay? So that's action. The next genre we have is comedy. So comedy is one of those things that make you smile and laugh and hold your stomach so hard from laughing so much. So comedies are light-hearted plots, consistently and deliberately designed to amuse and provoke laughter with one-liners or jokes, or by exaggerating, making something bigger, okay? Making something bigger. In this situation, the language, action, relationships, and characters. So basically a comedy film is one of those that will have you laughing so much. In English, we have an idiom that's called "will have you in stitches." So let's write that idiom up here. Will have you in stitches. Okay? Will have you in stitches. This means it will make you laugh so much. Okay? So you will laugh, 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 that you hold your stomach. And this is called, it will have you in stitches. Okay? So the next example of a comedy film is like Home Alone. As you can see, his head is on fire. That's just funny. Okay? Alright, so up next, what do we have? We also have horror films. Now, a horror film are designed to frighten you, which means to scare you and to invoke our hidden worst fears. So something you're really afraid of. Some people are afraid of the dark. Some people are afraid of being killed. Some people, there are ghosts that follow them. Okay? Often in a terrifying and shocking finale. So it usually ends with something shocking. You're always on your seat, jumping in your seat. Okay? While captivating, it captures you and entertains us at the same time in a cathartic experience. So one of the best examples for a horror film would be like The House of Horrors, where you see an excellent example of a horror film would be The House of Horrors, where you can see how they have a zombie. This is what we would call a zombie. Alright, we have a zombie. Alright, and we see that zombie, he is eating a person. It's just scary. Okay? Then we have a sci-fi film. Okay? Now, sci-fi, these here are hello? What's going on, guys? Yes, yes, Mr. Cadet, what's going on? Okay, so what can we do? What do you want to do? I have 2 megabytes all to myself. What else can I do besides that? What's the issue exactly? So up next, we're going to speak about genres. Now, what is a genre? A genre is a type of a movie. Now, we all love watching movies, and we all love going to the movies to see them at the cinema. So, what a genre is, it is the type of movie that we're watching. So, for example, we have different types of movies. We have movies that scare you, and we have movies that make you laugh. We have movies that are full of adventure, and we have movies that are full of action. So let's take a look and let's explore some of these genres today. All right? So up first, we have an action film. So an action film is a film genre in which one or more of the heroes are thrust into a series of challenges that typically include physical feats. So it's all about something real where there's action happening. Okay? Extended fighting scenes, violence. So there's blood, someone gets cut, someone gets killed. Okay? And frantic chases. Action films tend to be a resourceful character struggling against incredible odds. So the hero or the star of the movie usually goes through a lot of difficulties and a lot of hard things in order to win. So those difficulties include life-threatening situations where you may die, where the character may die in the movie. There's also a villain. A villain is the bad guy, okay? So he's the bad guy. That's the villain. Or a pursuit, which generally concludes in victory for the hero. So what happens is that the heroes, the good guys, they always have to fight, and they always have to overcome lots of hardship and difficulties in order to win in the end of the movie. So a very good example of an action film would be something like Fast and Furious. Okay? As we see here, Dwayne Johnson, we see The Rock, he is shooting down something with a machine gun. Okay? And so we see it's full of action and it's full of, you see the fire in the back. There was lots of things going on. Okay? So this is what we call an action film. Okay? Up next, we have something that we all love, which is a comedy film. So a comedy is a movie or a film that is lighthearted. It's very light. We all love them. Okay? Where they are built in order to amuse, make us laugh, make us smile. Okay? By seeing a situation, so they will exaggerate a situation, or the language, or an action, and relationships and characters. So we see that things happen that make you laugh so hard. We call this here in English, this is an idiom that you can learn. We call this have me, or had, let's say had me in stitches. Okay? So had me in stitches. Okay? This is an idiom where we use it when you are laughing so hard that you hold your stomach and you're laughing. And it hurts your stomach to laugh so hard. So you can say something like, I watched a movie yesterday and it had me in stitches. Means it was so funny. A great example of a comedy film would be a movie like Home Alone. If you remember this movie, as you can see, his head is caught on fire and he's screaming. And then he runs to put his head inside the toilet and it has gasoline and it catches on fire. And watching this movie, you will laugh and laugh and laugh. Okay? We also have horror movies. So a horror film is one of those films that are scary and spook you. Okay? So they were designed to frighten you. That's the same when someone goes, and they scare you because you're not expecting it. And so you jump in your seat. Okay? So they were designed to frighten, scare you, and invoke our hidden worst fears. Okay? So something you're really, really afraid of, like maybe a ghost, or maybe falling from a height, from a very tall building, or even sometimes dying and being killed with knives. Okay? Often in a very terrifying and shocking finale where it scares you so much and you have to hold your heart. Okay? And some people love these types of movies because they stay entertained and they love the thrill when seeing this. So a good example of a horror film would be The House of Horrors. So as we see here, this here is called a zombie. Okay? A zombie. So we see this zombie. He is eating a person alive. He's eating their flesh. And it just looks scary. So that's what a horror film is meant to do. So if you've ever seen vampire movies like Dracula or Underworld, all of those are examples of vampire movies. Okay? We also have sci-fi films. So a sci-fi film is short for science fiction. So science is something that has to do with knowledge. Okay? Fiction is something that means it is not real. It's not real, at least not yet. So a science fiction movie deals with something with technology or medicine or something usually in the future. So if we're in 2015 this year, it may be something like 2050 or 2099. And it's something way in the future. Okay? So sci-fi films are often quasi-scientific. So they're based on science. Visionary. So the person has to see things that has never happened yet. And he has to envision it. And they're also imaginative. Okay, so they're also imaginative. So they're also complete with heroes, aliens. So a hero, we said again, in action movies, so someone who will win, the good people. They're called the heroes. Aliens are creatures that come from other planets. Okay? So they may have just one eye, and they have spaceships. okay, or from distant planets, like Mars. We took a planet a few classes ago, and we learned about Venus, Earth, Mars. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So we know that these are our planets. Okay? So sometimes they imagine creatures coming from Mars to Earth to conquer it, or people leaving the Earth to travel to the moon. Okay? Or impossible quest. So there's always some type of mission impossible happening. Okay? Improbable settings. Fantastic places. So you always see something new and something spectacular, something beautiful and gorgeous. Okay? And we also have great dark and shadowy villains. So the bad guys are usually very scary. Okay? With lots of futuristic technology. Futuristic technology is thinking of something that does not yet exist. For example, 20 years ago, there were many films with smart watches. So this here is a smart watch. Okay? And people could talk to people in their watch. Today, it's possible. But 20 years ago, this was sci-fi. It was science fiction. No one ever done it. Okay?